Hello, it's Jay checking in with the first part of, finish the first part of Midnight in Chernobyl by Adam Higginbotham, a 2019 work of the untold story of the Chernobyl disaster. I don't know if that's what it's called, Untold Story of Chernobyl, where my last check-in I had said we'd gotten all the way up to the shit hitting the fan. They're trying to do this test, withdraw way too many rods, interrupt the power. The graphite rods that they're supposed to kind of put in to kind of to stop a reactor overload get stuck halfway, and the thing blows up. It blows up. The whole top of the thing goes off. It raises to, it's not quite the surface temperature of the sun, but pretty damn close. The whole side of the thing just melts and collapses away, so that and with the explosion, the rods, the graphite, shattered bits of it are just scattered all over the place, and it is cooking and it is burning, and we're talking a fire that cannot be doused with water to put out. It's like, this is, and we learned already. Adam Higginbotham has done a really good job of setting up all the decisions that were made, starting off with using this particular type of reactor, but also the fact that because the Soviets love such giant things, this is going to be a gigantor. They didn't actually encase the whole thing in a giant cement dome, so if there had been an explosion, it wouldn't have rained all the stuff, and it wouldn't be open to the sky. It would be contained. No, that would have quadrupled the costs because of how big it was. So it's open. It's completely open and is venting deadly gas of unimaginably powerful radiation. Is still burning. I don't know if it's going to ramp up even more, but you just get that sense of everybody who is at the station is dead. They've all gotten a lethal, surely a lethal dose of radiation. All the firefighters that have come in have gotten a lethal dose. We have a guy doing a reconnaissance team doing a flight out, a reconnaissance thing, and their things, they fly through an area where there's this strange fog, viscous fog, which when it hits the windshield, it doesn't kind of like do the kind of the drool down like if it was like a water vapor. It's like, it's thick and it's viscous. And the guy in the back screams at him, it's like, "What have you done? You've killed us all!" Because the radiation thing is just, it's like, it's gone completely off the charts. They are dead. And indeed, the final bits of this, they've decided that they're going to throw sandbags in to try and sort of smother the thing because, well, we have sandbags. It's cheap. And it's like it's available. Unfortunately, the other thing that they might have dropped into it has been doused in radioactive stuff, and is just everyone would die just trying to pick it up to get it into the thing. They load all this onto a helicopter. They fly it out over top of this of the reactor, which is venting gamma rays and just super deadly. And this guy, in basically just a flight suit, is throwing bags of sand on top of it, and is also dead. Back in the kind of the model city that they've set up, there is a female architect who is also sort of the planner, who has been copying out maps for people to go see, because you're not allowed to have a photocopier in the Soviet Union because that could be used to distribute subversive materials, samizdat materials. So she has to copy it out, and she's been walking around and all this dust falling down and getting it all over her legs. And now at the end of the day, she's got a blinding headache, diarrhea, it's like, yeah, she is also dead, and sees a woman getting dropped off because they didn't cancel the regular train, so people are actually still coming back, even as they're evacuating other people out. People that they're evacuating out going like, oh crap, we forgot to wash the tires before we left because it's got like that much radiation on the tires, so they have to double back to do that. It's just like, ay, 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 ay. And yeah, the original workers who get taken to the hospital and have you know, radiation burns, and it's like, yeah, they're most likely also going to be all dead, if not really soon, quite soon. It's just horrific. And in the midst of this, you have the officials who, part of it's just kind of the culture of like downplaying bad stuff happening, and also just not, there's just no precautions being taken for maybe there's no materials to no actual equipment to take out. I mean, the officials are going into this area to try and battle this, and they're also going to be dead. They're and you know, it's just like, they're obviously trying to do damage control in the sense of not letting the information get out. This is going to be obviously huge embarrassment to the USSR, and stuff. It's just like so dead, so all fried. And you know, really sad stuff, like, you know, saying that this architectural woman was one of the people who's just there. The maintenance people and all the people who are going to fight this stuff are going to stay behind in this, what is probably an area that is now, it's a radiation zone that you should be in it for super limited amount of times in heavy equipment, are just there, living there. But you can hear kind of the mournful yowling of barking of dogs, which their fur, permeated with all this radioactive material, the owners have been forced to leave behind. And you know, they're all going to die too. I'm a dog person, so shoot me. I have noted at least all the other men, women, and children who probably have horrible doses of radiation, which doesn't kill them immediately. You have to think just what long range, you know, how much that is going to get them. And I do know that, you know, from people talking about this at this time, like the fears of like the cloud from Chernobyl traveling around, you know, being blown by the wind, which way is it moving, going across areas and devastating them. So yeah, it's just, it's super chilling, and it's one of these things of like, it's you know, it's a technology that has trumpeted as like such potential for cheap energy, for energy that isn't going to wreak all the havoc on the environment, except if human beings are at their worst, which is this case. But it's not just something that's would be a Soviet Union. You can see other scenarios of politicians in the West going, oh, we cut the budget because people want us to lower taxes, so we cut the budget to safety or to strictures on stuff, or a business, if it's privatized, to businesses going like, oh well, we did the nuclear energy on the cheap because we're trying to outcompete our competitors, and government's not holding them up to the proper standards. It's like all this sort of stuff you can see. It's like, oh, it's really a kind of an interesting counterbalance to the idea of like, oh, nuclear energy, you know, hardly any accidents, but fuck, when there's an accident, when there is something like this, which is the combination of all these very human decisions. You don't divorce the Soviet Union from the rest of mankind. It happened to happen here at its worst, but it's happened, various iterations of it have happened other places that, you know, in the States, in Britain, other ones I probably don't even know about. So yeah, that's my check-in with the first 44% part 1 of Midnight in Chernobyl by Adam Higginbotham. more videos later.